Happy New Year, my kindergarten friends. Let's take a look at what's going to happen in the first 6 weeks. It's a brand new year, so let's get going with what we're doing. Our expectations for this Unit 4 is that students will be at a level B. For those higher, level C. We want them working independently for this amount of time, making words or adding, changing sounds and words in the initial and final consonant, reading greater than 20 of those high frequency words, reading with comprehension and fluency at their independent text level. They're going to be applying gap stopper routine to make prediction and think about the text. And then the Reader's Handbook. The continuum for literacy learning by Gay Sue and Irene is amazing. This is an adaptation of what you see on the screen of there are different tabs, and in the last tab of this book is guided reading A through Z, and it shows you at each text level what are the characteristics, how do you select a text for that kid or that group, what type of behaviors do you notice in support, and then actually what kind of word work happens at that. So if you don't know the continuum, I would really encourage you to find out about that and use that in your guided reading. Let's take a look at our word study for this 6 weeks. We're going to be looking at your lead standard is vowel, consonant, and then consonant, vowel, consonant pattern. Playing with those words, you're going to be bringing those babies to the rug, showing them words, or having them write on their whiteboards and reading those words, finding words in books like that. This is on the screen. You're going to see a read, write, think activity that you could put into the center workstation center on the computers. It's and so sorting those words and doing word sorts with that. Segmenting spoken one-syllable words into 2 or 3 phonemes. This is so important. I know that phonemic awareness and doing those activities in your classroom is still so very important to all children. So giving them one-syllable words and have them segment into phonemes as a group, playing games with them. Treasures Unit 5 has a phonemic awareness. If you look at all those, it shows you some activities to do there. Another important thing that we're doing this 6 weeks is studying the importance of word order, creating simple sentences that give facts about a topic, and then modeling how sometimes when you change the order of the word, it can be changed from a sentence, from a question to a statement, because you're looking at different kinds of sentences. And then beginning about subject-verb agreement, that sentences are made up of meaning chunks, words and phrases that carry their meaning. There has to be a subject. We don't really call it subject, but there has to be something that's happening, and then about an object or a person, place, or thing, and then them doing something. So really examining sentences. In your word study, you're going to be doing insights and snap words. There are no, go, so, is, and wonderful words. And then you're going to be introducing the rhyme pattern of at, and then once again studying the importance of word order in sentences. So doing cut-up sentences with them, having them look at them, model how changing, like we just talked about. You can take a question and then make a statement. Academic vocabulary, really emphasizing that, very important to their development. Reading at a glance. Like we said, lead standard is students are expected to recognize words with vowel consonants, consonant, vowel, consonant, Spanish, and then their reading strategies, they're going to be asking and responding to questions about text in Figure 19B and Figure 19C, monitoring and adjusting comprehension. And then with theme and stories, with theme and genre, they are expected to identify elements of a story, including the setting, character, and key events. Then in poetry, they're expected to listen and recite a variety of poems and respond to the regular beat. And then informational text, students are expected to discuss the ways authors group information in a text. So those are your standards. So what are the focus lessons that we could do? So your Find the Pattern poster is kind of your guiding questions. We're looking at how do words work together to make sense? What do authors do? How do our writing when our words come together? One of the things is stop and check strategy, and look at your overview. It kind of gives you an overview of what that looks like. Read stories from treasures, modeling how to stop and check, and then let them do it with their partners. Watch them as they do it. Then as you send them out to their independent reading time or in their book boxes, have them do stop and check, and then put on a sticky note, how did I do today? One of the focus lessons that I want you to rinse and repeat is asking questions from Comprehension Toolkit Lesson 9 through 11. Um, so getting those books and looking at breaking those lessons apart. What you see on my screen is a guide lesson. That is the lesson that goes after the model lesson in the Comprehension Toolkit, and it is designed for you to use to rinse and repeat with all different kinds of stories and informational texts that you want to. So, great one. Unit 3 in Treasures, Duck on a Bike has some great questions there for you. I love the portrait, the responding by clapping to the beat. This is during your read aloud time where you're finding poetry that has great beat and they're clapping and they're just enjoying language and playing with language. Very important. Also, during your focus lesson, you're going to be isolating initial sounds in one-syllable words and then segmenting spoken words in 2 or 3 phonemes, just playing with language and maybe out of a big book that you're reading. Then you're going to introduce Reader's Notebook, so don't panic. We'll talk about that in just a moment. And then do lots of close reading. With asking and responding to questions, this is a great way to really secure Figure Knot Team B and C. So using close reading with them. All right, Reader's Notebook. Please don't panic, all right? Make a place where students can put major strategies that are going to guide them. It is their handbook, but remember, this is yours, what you want. Here's some suggestions. Three Bears Fluency Chart, a great one. If you're checking fluency, how they doing, and make a sticky note. What do they think they did that day? Or, ask them today when you go out to read, I want you to use your Three Bears Fluency Chart. Did you read too fast, too slow, or just right? And then have them report back about how they're doing as a reader. Spelling patterns they've learned, stop and check, reread if it doesn't make sense, any kind of strategies, because you want to put a handbook is for them to use to help them to be a strategic reader. During your guided reading, during your small group instruction, I hope that you're using the Jan Richardson's book, The Next Step for Guided Reading, the Early Guided Reading Plan, because it just lays out and it helps you to plan that lesson. All guided lessons should be planned and then after you meet with them, and you see they need different things, but I just love these lesson plans because Jan's book explains everything in there. Like if you want to know what's missing in teaching a sight word, she shows you exactly what that is. So using those strategies, you don't have to come up with it on your own, and this is the link that you get those lesson plans. All right, and here's one that I found that is taken from the continuum, because in each, like this is a level B, here are the things that when you go into the continuum that it says that they're supposed to be doing. Well, this is a checklist, assessment checklist that you could use on each kid to be looking at the different dates that you're looking and reading with them. Are they doing these things, and where do you need help? And I'll attach that in Canvas as well for you to use if you'd like it. Hope that you're using those leveled libraries. Those books that we bought from Benchmarks are just so rich, and they will engage students, and they've just got beautiful pictures. There's lots of social studies and science with those. Also, your reading A to Z, you can actually look through from the standard and select from the standard. And then in RAS Kids, we want you using that during independent reading time, because that is a great way. Those are eyes on text for them in that RAS Kids, and they're asking them questions, so that's a great tool. Let's look at writing. We want them to dictate and write sentences to tell a story and put them in sequential order. And then we just want them using their letter sound knowledge to put the words down, stretching out those words. We want them to use complete sentences, and we want correct spaces between words. And then looking at the writing process, where they need to select ideas, what they want to write about. They can draw a picture, write a caption about a class experience. They're expected to reread for check for missing or extra words. Does it sound right? And then the editing part is like proofread for letters and sounds, and they're expected to routinely proofread for one-to-one match between intended words. So have them go back and reread in touching every word and asking themselves, does this sound right? That is part of the editing and revising process. Our writing expectations is at a stage 3. You're going to see all the things that we want. It's in your overview. I would say to you, you're going to be introducing the 12-stage rubric. Really show kids what the rubric says. What does a stage 3 look like? Show them examples of a stage 3, and then look at the expectation at stage 3. Study it and say, What do I not see in my classroom that I need to really teach and help kids with? Here's some focus lessons. You're going to introduce Gap Stopper. Absolutely love Gap Stopper. Did it in my classroom when I was in first grade. It's appropriate for kindergarten. It will be your focus lesson from all 6 weeks, where every kid gets to be a boss, or for at least 22 days, how many kids you have. That is a great resource. If you're not using Gap Stopper and you want to learn, call me and we will figure out how to use that. Also, use literature to focus on things that you want them to be doing. And then you're going to be introducing, like I said, that 12-stage writing rubric, and you have a resource that walks you through introducing the 12-stage rubric to kindergartners. So use that. During that writing workshop time, it is the expectation that while they are writing, you are conferencing. Now, we've taught you that that means that you're walking around independently, writing and stopping periodically, and really monitoring and noting what kids are doing while they're writing, because that's where you're going to get your piece of your mini lesson that you notice kids are doing great and kids are maybe need more help on. So you're going to actually making sure that they're using an alphabet chart to confirm the formation of letters. Are they using the word wall to check for accurate spelling of words? Are they adding detail to their picture? So your job is to walk around and note the behaviors you see your kids doing. That's the beauty of writing workshop. Then if you see a couple of kids, there's a group of kids that need an individual conference, pull them back shortly, not a long time, conference with them, give them some pointers and then send them back, because they should be writing during this time. Right before the end of the session, you should set aside the last 2 or 3 minutes for every writer to guide the students through the 3 habits of mind questions. Touch your words, touch each word. Does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look like? And then you're looking for a target skill. So if, let's just say, you're looking for spacing. Say, I want you to say, do you have spacing between your words? If not, change it. Oh, we are looking for our sight words. Make sure you have those spelled correctly. So refer to your target skills. That will show you what to do with that. So here's your key focus lessons. I've already talked about a little bit of everything that does. So the 3 things you're looking at: does it make sense? Does it sound right? Does it look right? And then once again, use your technology. This is a great, we used this last year. There's a great, you can click on this link and look at this example of using technology. It's the second half of the year. They can do so many great things with technology. Contact your digital media specialist and they will help you get started. So have a great 6 weeks. Please use your academic coaches and call me if you need me. Happy New Year.